countdown, we have a committee of one. That is Brian Brackets, one Mr. Brian Windhorst, because this is what the playoff picture looks like as of now out west. But what will the Western bracket look like when it's all said and done?
Yeah,
that's
people are going to get in their feelings about this. Okay, so here's the standings right now. Big one last night, the Lakers winning. Look at where that was with the Nuggets. Plus, they got the tiebreak. It was almost like a double win. All right, Spurs are 3 back. The truth is it's actually 2 because they have the tiebreaker. Now, let's take a look at how these scenarios could play out, okay? I think it's going to finish this way. Thunder, Spurs, 1-2. The Thunder, I don't think are going to yield that ground. This is the prize in the Western Conference. Who gets that 3 seed? Puts you on the opposite side as the Thunder, matches you up more with the Spurs. Who am I going to put in that spot? This is the toughest call. Coach, you're going to love that. It's going to be the Lakers. And you say, oh my gosh, how could I can't believe I say it either. Okay, this schedule up here is really tough. They leave on a road trip. It's going to be determined here. This is going to be huge. Our baseball series in Houston, red hot Heat, red hot Magic, #1 seed. What happens here? But they've gotten ready for that by going 8-2 in their last 10 5-game win streak. That's big. Now, 4. The Rockets fans are not going to like this because even though they could win these next 2 games, they make me look like a fool. I don't like the way the Rockets are playing right now offensively. I see the Rockets all the way down here. And they could have these 2 wins. We'll see. Now, Denver, I think Denver is dangerous. Denver, they've had a brutal stretch of schedule. And I realized that last night was not encouraging. But their schedule now flips. They're in a much better position to finish. They're getting healthier. I think Denver ends up moving up here in a back rematch with the Lakers and a potentially great match here. Now, let's go down to the play-in. The Suns fans are not going to like me here.
A lot of people don't like winning.
Yeah, you say that a lot.
Last night, Kawhi Leonard sprained his ankle. I'm a little worried about that. I know the Suns are doing really well. I respect them a lot. I'm going to bet on Kawhi Leonard and Steph Curry getting through the play-in that zone.
Wow.
A lot of flexibility down here. This is going to change by the day. This is the spot everybody wants. Right now, the Lakers have earned their way in there. I think they might stay there because of their clutch play.
All right. Well, if that is the way that Brian Windhorst is seeing the bracket, Coach, I don't know if you know this, but around these parts, we don't only call him Big Perk.
Yeah.
We also call him Perkstradamus because he can see at times
into the future.
Into the future.
And look, Wendy, I appreciate you making that bed because I'm damn sure going to lay in it. And Coach, Malika is right. This is my prime right here. When it get close to playoff time and predictions, 90% of the time, I'm right on predicting series.
90%
so when
of the
I'm
time,
looking,
10% of the time.
Starting at the top, we got the Thunder Warriors. I think this is an easy pick. We're going with the champs. They're going to sweep the Warriors if they match up. So I got them advancing.
Okay.
And then we're moving down. Now, this is where it gets tricky. You got the Nuggets and the Timberwolves. Both teams has been struggling. Anthony Edwards is on a mission. I think the Timberwolves have the ability to turn up their defense. They're going to win this series in 6. I got them advancing. Matching up with the...
Can I disagree?
Yeah.
Perkstradamus. I don't know what you want to call me, but I got something to say here.
Okay.
And we're going to find out about Minnesota today in the big game at OKC, defending champs. But they're struggling. Right, they had lost 3 games in a row, and not just lost, they got blown out. And then they came back and beat Golden State. Denver trying to find their way, tough schedule lately, trying to get healthy. That's going to be a hell of a series. I don't know about this. That could be Denver in a real good series.
No argument there. No argument. I think it's going to go 6 or 7. Now we move down, Lakers, Rockets. I don't like the Rockets. I don't like nothing about them at this point of the season. At least the Lakers have the offensive firepower. I got them advancing.
Interesting.
And then moving down to the bottom. Yes, Kawhi Leonard is dangerous. We know he's proven to break up happy homes, but damn it, the Spurs got whippy. I don't give a damn. That man is on a mission. I got the Spurs advancing.
No, I think that's a
to
cool
the second
pick.
round. Okay, now this is where it get heated. The champs against the Minnesota Timberwolves. SGA still looking like the best player in the league. Although they're not healthy, they're going to have home court advantage. This series is going to go 7, but I'm giving the edge to the Oklahoma City Thunder advancing to the Western Conference Finals. Coach?
I'm with you on that. Now, I don't think it's going 7. I'm going with the Thunder as well.
Okay, cool. Now, right here, the Lakers can't guard a parked car. One thing about it, I understand they don't have the experience when we talk about the Spurs, but they're going to have home court advantage, and they're peaking at the right time. I got San Antonio advancing to the Western Conference Finals, and this is what it's going to
I'm
look
with
like
you so
right
far,
now.
Perk. I'm with you. I like this.
He might not be driving
gonna
the
be a
same
brawl
back
for it
roads,
all.
but he got to the same destination.
And I'm telling y'all this, if the champs are not fully healthy, the Spurs has already put the world on notice that they could get their feet high with them in the season. I believe that if the Thunder are not healthy, as good as SGA is, I believe the Spurs are going to advance to the NBA Finals.
Wow. All right. Well, this is the Western Conference Finals bracket, again, based on what Brian Windhorst, worldwide Brian, bracketologist Brian,
There's
has
no way
laid
it
out
doesn't go
for
that
us.
way.
You still have a little bit of time to fill out your March Madness brackets here, though. But, Perk, you once again have the Kendrick Perkins, Michael Malone, Brian Windhorst. I'm Malika Andrews. Are you guys ready for this? We got a big day ahead. It's going to be a good one. You know, award season is here, not just because the Oscars are being handed out tonight. Do you have a Best Picture favorite yet? Do you want Perk wants to see how this plays out a little bit later. But he's also, we're getting closer and closer to the MVP awards taking front and center stage. SGA making a case for a second consecutive MVP with the run that he's been on here, right? He's averaging 31.8 points a game. That's second in the NBA, only behind Luka. And today, he's going to be playing in his first game after breaking Wilt's record, that 63-year-old record for consecutive 20-point games that happened last Thursday. And, Coach, you knew a thing or two about going back-to-back, coaching back-to-back MVPs. Nikola Jokic won, what, 3 of those awards? So does Shea look like he's going to win a second here?
He does. To me, he does.
Yeah.
I think he's the odds-on favorite right now to be the MVP, and not just because they have the best record in the NBA, because good players can carry you for the first 46 minutes.
Yeah, he's got the gene.
Great players take over in the clutch, and right now they have 21 clutch wins, 4th most in the league, but more importantly, Shea leads the NBA in clutch points. And just this past week, we've seen 4 examples, one in the Garden against the Knicks. He knows what time it is. He gets to that step back, leads the league in step back jumpers. And the three-point shot has really developed this season, shooting I think, a second best percentage in his career. But he lives for the moment. He's never ducking the spotlight. He puts his team on his back over and over, and it's been a joy to watch because that's what greatness does. They rise to the occasion.
Right after that game against the Warriors, he said, I have the answers to the test. I just have to wait for the question. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
That is what the kids call a bar.
That's some sophisticated swagger right there. It basically means you can't stop me, and whatever you try to do to stop me, I will solve. And here's the thing about that. He's kind of right.
Your moves, I have counter moves.
I'm watching the way that you bring the double, he passes it. You single him, he knows how to get open. They let him get away with a little push-off. Once he has that move, you
Little push-off.
Yeah, some would say that was big, but some would say, Perk.
He is the Michael Jackson of basketball.
He's a thriller?
No, he's an artist. He's an artist, and every album that he puts out every single year goes diamond. When you talk about joining the elite company every single year, last year he joined Michael Jordan as the only player to average 30 while shooting over 50% for 3 consecutive seasons. Guess what? He's about to join Michael Jordan again this year for his 4th season, averaging over 30, shooting over 50% from the field.
Yep.
He's shooting 55% from the field. He's a top leader for his tough contested 2-point shots. I have never seen a guard this efficient in my entire life when it comes down to him being able to score at all 3 levels. Everybody want to make these gripes and complaints about him being the quote-unquote free throw merch. Look at this list right here, Coach. Look at this. And to see, this is David Robinson, Tim Duncan, Akeem Olajuwon, Larry Bird. He's beating all those guys.
Those
at
aren't guards.
6'6", and he plays below the rim.
Right.
And you know what's amazing to me, Perk, is this. 1, everybody's game planning for him. So for him to put up all those numbers you talked about, he's getting a game plan every night to try to stop him. And 2, Wendy, what really impresses me about Shea is he is never in a rush. He never looks flustered, under control, poised.
He never even sweats.
And to your point about his quote, he's all right, what are you doing? And I have an answer for that. And you see that. That is a cool cat right there.
You said 1 and 2. I got 3. He's done it this whole year without his running mate in the backcourt.
Right.
Jalen Williams been out the whole year almost with injury. Hasn't slowed him down one iota.
It's easy to get bored, maybe even complacent with excellence, but SGA, he makes that boring work, if you will, that just something that he clocks into every single day. And it's turning into a really interesting season here for the Thunder. However, SGA's been great. Ant Edwards, though, it feels like there's no one who's been better in late-game situations than Ant, right? He's shooting a league-best 56% in the clutch this season on 84 shots. Nobody has made more than his 13 clutch three-pointers so far this year. And, Coach, this is nothing new. He ain't new to this. He's true to this. He's increased his scoring every season of his career. If he maintains this 30-point average per game output, he'd be the only first overall pick in the modern draft era. Think of all the first picks there is to increase his scoring each of his first 6 seasons. So, Coach, explain, how the heck does he get it going, and how does he do it against OKC?
Well, it's a challenge against OKC,
Right.
Malika, because they have the #1 defense in the NBA. And trust me when I tell you that their whole game plan is going to be, how do we slow down Anthony Edwards?
Believe that.
Yes. So we talked about Ant, his greatness, having a career high. And just on this clip, I want you to look at, they switched Chet Holmgren, a Defensive Player of the Year candidate, onto him. They have the luxury of doing that. And then behind that, they have an elite paint defense, OKC. You know why? Because they shrink the floor. They show him a crowd. We're not giving you any room to operate. Minnesota has to do a better job of moving without the ball. Ant gets a decent look here, a shot he can make, but that's just a really good look at what he's going to see. To me, this is really important. This is later in the season, head-to-head matchup, setting screens up the floor for Anthony Edwards. Get Lou Dort off of him. Let him attack in space. Let him press Chet Holmgren's feet. Get into the paint, and we know right here OKC is premier in terms of paint defense, but they do give up the three-point shot. If Ant draws 3 defenders like he does there,
This
on
is
time,
March,
on
Dante.
target pass, knocks it out to Dante DiVincenzo for the open 3. Expect to see a lot of that today, Malika.
Anthony Edwards, certainly the head of the snake here for the Minnesota Timberwolves, but OKC, this is what they do best. So let's take a look at some more numbers. That brings us to our head-to-head. It's brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook here. Kendrick Perkins.
Yes.
We just laid out 2 elite scorers in Anthony Edwards and Shea. So who's going to have more?
I'm going with Anthony Edwards. You walk
Anthony
in with an
Edwards.
Adidas sweatsuit and sunglasses, that means you about standing on business.
All right, how about who racks up more assists, Brian, Ant or Shea? Again?
Well, Coach just showed how the Thunder are going to play him. They're going to swarm him tonight. He's going to kick. I like Ant Edwards getting more than that 4.5.
Well, speaking of that kick then, Coach, who's going to knock down more threes?
Oh, that's the Ant-Man. He loves the 3, loves the pull-up 3. No disrespect to Shea, but Anthony Edwards, expect him to have a big night tonight, and the 3-point line will be a big part of that.